For today's video, I will be showing division using partial quotients with 4-digit dividends that have remainders. So I have already filled out my easy multiples on this side to kind of help me as a guide. And as always, this is just a guide. It is not you have to follow these particular multiples. You can absolutely use different multiples, but these are just there to help those students who may need additional fluency help. So I'm going to start with thinking about 9,253 and how can I get close to that number multiplying by 3? What is the closest that I can get to that number? So I'm going to go down to 3 times 2,000 and I'm going to look at 6,000. And that's still a pretty far away number from 6,000 to 9,000. So I'm going to think about what would happen if I did 3 times like 3,000, because I know 3 times 3 is 9. So 3 times 3,000 would give me 9,000. So I'm going to put my partial quotient of 3,000 here. 3 times 3,000 equals 9,000. Now I'm going to go ahead and subtract. And now that leaves me with 253. So now I'm going to repeat the process again, but now I'm looking at what can get me the closest to 253, meaning what can I multiply 3 by in order to get close to 253 without going over. So I'm going to look at my easy multiples and I notice that I have 3 times 50 equals 150. That's pretty close. So I'm going to use that. So 50 goes here as a partial quotient. 150 goes here. And I'm going to subtract 253 minus 150. That's going to leave me with 103. And so again, I'm just going to continue to repeat the process. So now I'm looking at 3 times what number is going to get me close to 103 without going over. So I'm looking at my easy multiples. I see that I can get close to 6. I can get 60, but that's still a little ways away. So again, what I know about my multiples of 3 times 2 is 6, but then 3 times 3 would give me 9. So I'm thinking 3 times 30. So 30 goes here. 3 times 30 equals 90. My 90 goes there. Now I have 103 minus 90, which is going to give me 3 minus 0 is 3. Then I'm going to need to borrow here and regroup. And that leaves me with 13. Now, again, we're going to repeat the process one more time. Now I'm looking at what is the closest I can get to 13. And I know that 3 times 4 equals 12. So my 4 goes here as my partial quotient. 12 goes here. I'm going to subtract 13 minus 12. That leaves me with 1. And now I know that I cannot make any more groups of 3 because I'm only left with 1. So I'm going to add up my total. And that's going to give me a total of 3,084 with a remainder of 1, and that is my final answer, 3,084. And we just put R1 for a remainder because that is our one that's left over that cannot be used in a complete group of 3. And that is how we solve division using partial quotient with 4-digit dividends with remainders.